an episode about letting go from ego.
Welcome to That's What She Said, a podcast about divine, wild sexuality and the free-spirited feminine. May every word we speak carry our deepest truth.
Kissing the ego goodbye. What does it mean? The ego defines for me to be something like an animal. Sometimes I thought it was like a roaring tiger inside of me, which could transform into a small kitty cat. But these days I would love to let go of all of that, because I think the ego is very is not present in the moment. Maybe saying goodbye to the ego could mean to let life live through you, so that you experience everything for the first time, that you can hear better, you can feel better, you can see better, because you're totally present in the moment. And your consciousness is totally like there, like right here, right now, here, not there, here. Maybe that would be the most important part, why I want to loosen my ego and kiss my ego goodbye. Maybe it's the most feminine to just be and to accept everything that happens just the way it is. Because you will always understand at a certain point in the life why it happened. And staying open and receiving is like the magical key to pure femininity. Maybe. In my opinion, it is like this. What do you think? Do you think it's feminine to scream at somebody at the street? Or do you think it's feminine to talk about someone else who's not there and rage about it? I mean, we all have been there. I don't want to judge you. It's not the point of this episode. The point of this episode is to think about what ego means to you, and if you really need it in your life, and to maybe open yourself up to loosen it a little bit and to be in a different state of mind, of bliss and harmony and acceptance. Of course, boundaries don't come easy. So boundaries maybe would be another chapter. Maybe then it's okay to scream at somebody at the street or talk to about somebody who's not there, just to communicate boundaries. When somebody who's not there, not giving you the chance to communicate directly with him or her, or they or theirs, or all the stars in between. Maybe it is very unique to find a way to be more connected to the divine. And the divine feeling, the divine human being is full of light and acceptance. It has nothing to do to possess something or to claim something like, I need this is supposed to happen in my life, or the other way around, why is this happening to me? Me. I think this is the ego, which is like whining about something. And as I said before, yes, we all have been there. That's not the point. The point is, how could we find a way to just see what happens, let it float around, let it flow around through us, or categorize it like, okay, this is not what I like, I put it in the box of the feelings. I don't like the feeling. And then just keeping on forgetting about it. And at a certain point, understanding why it happened, and your emotions are still the same. You're in deep trust with yourself that you know everything is perfect as it is right now, and everything it's like it's supposed to be, and everything makes sense at a certain point in a certain life view. Einem bestimmten Lebensabschnitt. It makes sense at a perfect point in your life. Yeah, something like that. Do you know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean. I mean, come on, we all have been there. But how's the story continuing? Where do you want to be? How do we want to feel? What's the vision of it all? What's your vision? The story of Narcissus, for example, is a very powerful mythology, a powerful myth. And it's about self perception, identity, and a whole lot of illusion. I think it's a very good metaphor when discussing ego and the possibility of letting the ego go, letting the ego dissolve. In this original myth, maybe it's a little bit too much ego found, but let us see. So, the myth is a part of Metamorphosis by the Roman poet Ovid, at least the version we know these days. Narcissus is born an extraordinarily beautiful young man. Many people and nature spirits fall in love with him, including the nymph Echo, or Echo. In German, it's Echo. Echo suffers from a curse. She can only repeat the last words spoken by others. She falls deeply in love with Narcissus. But because of the curse, she can only repeat what he is saying. And he doesn't really quite like that. He turns her away and she's humiliated, humiliated and heartbroken. She hides and runs into the wilderness, and only her voice remains sometimes, like an echo in the mountains and the caves. Because Narcissus rejected her and continues to reject people and wonderful spirits who loved him, the goddess Nemesis, who is watching, turns everything into balance and retribution and punishes him. And now, the official part of the story you may know begins. Because one day Narcissus bends over a perfectly still pool of water to drink, and then he sees a face of astonishing beauty. Wow! He does not realize that the image is his own reflection. It's magic. He completely falls in love with it, and he cannot leave from the water's edge. He tries to touch the face, but the image dissolves. The more he tries to long for it, the more impossible it becomes to possess. At a certain point, he's falling into the water and drowns. Very sad story. So, what's the key point? Narcissus seems not to be able to truly see others, but he also cannot really truly see himself. He's somewhat trapped between illusion and of identity. He loves his own image, but he doesn't get it. He doesn't feel himself to love himself with his body and his soul. He just loves to see how he looks, but he doesn't know that it's him at this point, which is also, I think, a little bit confusing in this version. I thought he would know that it's him, but this puts a perfect edge for the ego. I think when you completely see yourself, you do not have an ego at a certain point which could destroy you, because you know yourself and you feel yourself, then you're completely in yourself, and then you're happy because then you're in love with yourself, completely accepting everybody around you and yourself. Maybe not unfairness or lies, which are not very acceptable, but in the end, without an ego, who cares? It's easy as that. So, in the metaphor of Narcissus, he's not drowning because he loves himself too much. He's drowning because he mistakes the reflection for reality and he doesn't feel himself in the moment. He gives away the feeling to the vision of his own reflection in the water. And he's not recognizing himself in this moment. He's, taking the reflection for something else or somebody else. And letting go of ego, in my opinion, does not mean destroying the self or not knowing the self or not doing what you want. It's just not talk about it all the time, just do it. Just living, just feeling yourself, being yourself, breathing in the breath of life through yourself with every atom to know that you are light and you are loved by yourself in a very light way, or loved by the divine light of life. Maybe it could all be giving up to the sky. It could all let go of and float above us. That would be, I think, a perfect life. People would start seeing and hearing others, and we could actually, at a certain point, with a certain kind of people, start dialogues again, and not monologue after monologue after monologue, changing just the people who are talking. That's not a dialogue. I think the most beautiful dialogues are when people really listen to each other and really see each other. And it's suppressed these days because of social media, maybe, or maybe also because the crisis after the crisis, which we also call winter sometimes, it made it not easy to feel yourself in your own skin, or to be in your own skin again. Yeah, I think I got my message out there. I hope you get it. Let me know when you don't, and maybe I will try to make a little vision board about this, about myself, what I want to let go of. That would be a nice idea, like a practical idea, maybe for you too, if you like, to make a vision board. How you identify the ego, what you want to cut loose, and how you could connect yourself with the divine experience of prayer or meditation are helping, and believing in something higher. I think at the same time you cannot believe in your ego or live your ego when you believe in something higher completely with your whole body. So that would be like a huge point of the vision board, to write down practices how to connect with your true self and with your divine self, which is connected to everything metaphorically above us. Many blessings to you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you will be back. I will be back soon. Bye bye. Maybe it means to train, to live life. Let live. Let life live through you. Oh my God, what is happening? Kissing the kiss. Meow.